Right, it is Saturday morning. Oh, let me just get the orange juice. There we go. Right, it is Saturday morning and about to do some earth bagging with Sam. Gonna start filling in around some of the windows, just carrying on. That is going to be the theme of this week, just earth bagging. A lot of it. I'll be doing 7 days a week on it, just trying to get it done this week, and then it's going to be wall plate and the door. But yeah, let's do some earth bagging. There's going to be a lot of time lapses, probably not a lot of earth bag filling. I am going to address one thing though. Ever since I've been doing the earth bag buildings, there's been a lot of people suggesting about making a contraption to hold the bags open to fill, and it's not a bad idea as such. It just won't work for the type of soil that is being used for the earth bagging here, and the type of soil you should use for earth bagging. People think of it as if it's like sand and it will sort of flow into a bag if you can hold the bag open like from a hopper, and that just isn't the case. I'll demonstrate that just to stop the comments about it, really, because people have spent quite a bit of time like coming up with contraptions and machines and stuff, and honestly really just won't work, and I don't want people to waste their time. There is a machine that would work, but it would involve sieving the material through, getting all the rocks out, and then like an auger bit that then fed the material down a chute into a bag, and then someone at the bottom just tamping it into the bag, because they all have to be filled so evenly, and otherwise they don't form into each other. You know, it is something that would need to be done quite precisionally with like an auger bit, for example. It's a lot more complicated than just having like a hopper and loading it with the tractor, and I'll show why in this video. Yeah, other than that, we're just going to do a lot of time lapsing, a lot of earth bagging. Right, let's get to work. So here's a bit of an example. This is the soil that goes into the bags. So it is full of stones and clumps. See, like, it's all like this. See that? Even after you break it up with the tractor bucket, it's still in pieces like this. You can see, like here, for example, see this, like that stuff on top. Fine, that would flow into the bag. I think that's what people picture, is that stuff, but most of it is like that, and it will just go in big chunks. There's also, it's full of pretty large rocks. So what's under here? Oh, there's one. Look. So you'd have to filter them out, and generally it's stuck together. And this is relatively dry at the moment. When it's wet, it actually is more like this, and it just clumps together in a big sticky mess. So in order for a machine to work, it would actually you'd have to have the whole pile covered up and dry as well, because as soon as it rains, it goes like that, and that will clump together. The whole tractor bucket would just be one solid clump like that. So yeah, quite a few people also ask what the bags end up like. So this is a bag we've just taken apart, and as you can see, it's dry. It's a dry bag of clay soil that's been compacted. That's the corner that I hammer in, so you don't have to plaster the corners, and that's what they go like. So yeah, pretty hard. I'll get something and hit it. So they're obviously nowhere near as hard as something like concrete, but to the touch they are that hard. You know, when you feel it, it doesn't feel like anything other than, say, concrete, but you know, they're brittle. So they are hard in compression, they're just quite brittle. Yeah, so that's what they go like. So undisturbed in the wall, they can take a hell of a lot of load on top of them. You just can't, you don't want them being bashed about too much once they're dry, you know. That's the level of hardness of them. But they're certainly not, I think also another thing, people think that the bags are really integral. You can see once it's dry, they stay completely in their original shape, and the bag is actually not really doing anything. And so you can actually even see the texture of the bag still on it. But yeah, if the bag vanished, that would still be what's in the wall. So yeah, the bags are just forms for initially when it's wet, really. Yeah. So that should give people a bit of an idea of the kind of characteristics of the soil you want for an earth bagging, and the soil we're using for earth bagging. It's very sticky clay soil, and it forms and it ends up in a big clay brick, but it certainly doesn't flow into a bag like sand would, for example. It needs to be broken up, pushed into the bag. It needs to be the right level of moisture in it, and then you have to fill it into the bag very nicely and evenly with no big stones in it, tamping it down into the corners as you go, and then getting it nice and tight, and then forming them into each other to create that big solid clay lump that's, you know, really quite strong under compression. If it flowed into the bag like sand does, it'd have to be really, really dry, and it wouldn't take on that same form, which is important to it. Alright, I hope that's cleared some stuff up. Let's get earthbagging. Rid of that.
Yep.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3.
Backwards instructions there. Plant them up here and spin them around.
Oh yeah, sorry. 1, 2, 3. That's the sort of launch it bit.
Yep.
1, 2, 3. It is an absolute scorcher today, hardly any breeze, hot as anything. We're just trying to get this done because it's Saturday. 1, 2, 3.
Oops, sorry. Move your hands out.
'Man, I'm struggling with it. Up there somewhere. 1, 2, 3. Oh, sorry.
Oh, I thought we had to lift and drop. I so nearly slipped off of there.
3 or 4. Put the corners in. There we go. Let them dry, and then that's a really strong corner. This wall is not coming up very high in the corner because we don't need much height in the corner, so therefore it's only going to come up another 2 or 3 bags, because then the roof logs will slant up and give us plenty of space outwards from it. It's just going to look nicer, lower profile and less work. Right, so now we can go that way a bit and that way a bit. Right, hey everyone, new day. Walls are coming up quite high now. We're doing well, averaging, I don't know, maybe 30 or so bags a day. I'm going to aim to get another 1 or 2 rows along that back wall. Sorry I can't really show you it all uncovered. It doesn't look like much with all the covers on. It's hard to really tell what's going on. But you see this wall behind is like up to my shoulder now. I don't want to uncover it all because it's so bright at the moment, and you know the UV damages the bags significantly. Every minute they're exposed to the UV, they're breaking down, so I want to try and avoid that where I can, and so I just keep it covered up. But as soon as we start putting a roof and stuff on and it's in shade more, you know, I can uncover it more and you'll be able to see more what's going on. Oh god, it's bright. That's why I don't want to have the bags uncovered. So yeah, just earthbagging and going around. I thought I'd do an experiment and time how long it takes to fill a bag, because the filling part is actually the smallest amount of work involved in the earthbag building. It's the fitting and tamping and the barbed wire and everything. The actual filling part's really easy, especially with the soil in the bucket. So let's see how long it takes to fill a bag. Let's try then. How long does it take to fill a bag? I'm not going to rush it, I'm just going to do it at the normal pace. Right, let's go. This is the pace that I do them at. Soil's drying out a bit, so it's getting quite a bit easier. Still got some clumps that need breaking up. And that layer is hard to pick up, so just give it a bit of a pat down. Done. Okay, so I just checked, it's just under 2 minutes to fill one. Alright then, let's work this out then. See how much time I'd save if I made a machine to fill these bags. So we've got 2,000 bags. This is for the whole building, by the way, not just up here. 2,000 times 2, that gives us 4,000 minutes. Divide that by 60, gives us 66 hours. Divide that by an 8-hour day, gives us 8.3 days. 8.3 days of time actually filling. If I made a machine, I'd still have to load the bags, I'd still have to move the soil, I'd still have to tie the tops, I'd still have to fit them, I'd still have to tamp them, everything like that. Just the time filling would be saved, and the total time filling for the entire building, bottom floor and top floor, is 8 days. And yeah, if you're going to be doing a lot of earthbag buildings, you know, it was a business or something and you were building, you know, it would be worthwhile making a efficient machine. But if you're not, it's not, honestly, the filling part is not the labour intensive part. Right, we're getting to the point where this wall's getting a bit wobbly on top because it's just tapering back, not butted up against the door frame. Same with this one behind you just here. So I think we have to prioritise getting the door frame in, building up to that, because that's going to give strength to the walls. Right, we're up at the sawmill. We're going to be milling some logs to do the door frame, because the wall's starting to get a little bit wobbly because it needs a frame in. It's getting quite high. We're going to do it out of these big chunky logs. This one's going to be the lintel. We're going to put a flat in it for the door for the top of the lintel, and a flat for the door to close against. And then we'll make 2 posts out of a 5 metre long one with 2 flats on them.
Perfect.
Right, we got our logs we just milled set up, flat on one side. Now we've got to lay them out for roundwood timber framing, which is all string lining, finding centres, and then making sure a tenon is perpendicular to the centre line in the log. Just to briefly summarise, we have to create a centre that we match on both ends. We have to create as if there was a hole, a centre hole all the way through the middle of the log, and then we work off of those lines so that the tenon in the end is perpendicular to the, is that the right term, Sam? Perpendicular?
Right angle.
No, not perpendicular. On the same plane.
Oh, right.
On the same plane as the rest of the log, even if the log's wiggly. That's better. Right, let's lay it out. It's going upwards, so I'd go big.
Big?
Yeah. Oh, tenon shaped.
Not there.
Oh, you see that?
No.
Big chunk just chipped off and hit the camera and it rocked forwards.
Oh, shit.
She's stealing your heart. That's what she does. So Sam's just put in these recesses. I'll make an angle plate which goes on here. It's mostly just going to hold the door frame nicely at the bottom until the roof's on, really, because it wouldn't really need that after, but for now it's going to really help the wall not fall over basically. And when we put it in, you know, it's going to be a great thing to have to hold it. So that should be for that. Right over here.
Go in.
1 second, wait, if I could just...
Be alright over there?
Hmm?
You said you'd be alright?
No, just I just recording this. I just wanted to get
Oh,
this.
okay.
Just show this that is the mortise. We started cutting. That's what's getting cut out. There we go. Okay, mate. Carry on.
Guide it in.
Go on. Just place it.
Whoa.
Go on.
Yeah, kick it to the wind. That's it. Ooh, look at that.
Go on.
Right, I've got the weight. Do you want to kick him in? Come on.
Go on. Straight up.
Go on. Go in. Go in.
That'll go.
He's in.
Okay, keep wigging it so we can see what the shoulder's like. Okay, hold that there. Right, shoulder and everything looks excellent.
Yep.
Let's do some measuring. 2, 5. Right, and just done the peg holes and made a couple of pegs for these. Now I'm just cutting out some slate for them to sit on. Now wood is obviously moisture wicking and slate isn't, so if you sit a piece of wood on a piece of slate, providing you keep the moisture off the slate, no moisture will pass through the slate. So that's the idea of that. I've put a piece of 10mm plate underneath this because that's the thickness of the bracket, and then marking around the post with a pencil. I'll cut that out with a diamond cutter. This is number 2 post, so cut them out and that'll give me my little pads for the door to sit on. Got 2 pegs made, dry oak, and I've got the holes drilled. If you want to know how to do offset drilling, draw pegging, I've done videos on that when I did the greenhouse build. I would just knock these brackets up out of some offcuts from when I did the post knocker. Now we're just going to fit them with some stainless steel screws and then some concrete fixings. It's not really going to need it as far as the building's concerned. It's just going to hold the door nice and in place exactly where we want it while it's all getting built around. They'll obviously stay in, but they're just going to be handy to hold everything where we want it.
Yep. Oh, whoop.
If you guide it, I'll try and...
Okay. He's in.
Right. That's pretty cool. Rest it on the wall.
Well, I'm going to drop it. Pretty good.
Right, if you just balance it there, I'm just going to nudge it down a tiny little bit.
Tiny bit, see what happens. You don't need to turn it on with that, do you?
No.
Whoop.
Like that.
Yeah, check that one.
This needs to come out that way quite a bit. Something like that. The CE marked safety access platform.
Solid.
Solid.
Nice sound.
Excellent. Right.
unfortunately I'm not.
Nice.
Very nice.
That was good. Right, well that's going to be the end of this video. We've had a pretty good week, to be honest. We've done, I don't know, 100 earth bags or something, and got this door frame up, so not a bad week at all. Obviously we still got to fill in around it, and we've still got quite a few rows of earth bags to do as well, but I think that door frame came out really nice. It's really nice and level and square, and only two big doors that you can get a van in. I think it's 2.35 meters. You can see I'm quite short, but even with my arm up, yeah, pretty tall. And it's gonna slope downwards a bit from here down there a bit. There's gonna be a raised section for the wall as we go around the door. Yeah, came out really well. Cost really like not a lot, 20 or 30 pounds or something, and just a bit of time. Alright, that's gonna be the end of the video. Hope you enjoyed it, and thanks for watching.